there, I'm Mel the Physio, and on today's episode, we're going to talk about a really important muscle that is key to good posture, which is the glute muscle. The glutes play a major role in supporting your pelvis and spine, and also in maintaining proper alignment, which in standing, sitting, or even just movement. Strong glutes reduce the risk of back pain. They make sure that you're improve your posture, and it boosts overall mobility. So let's dive into taking care of our glutes. So basically we're talking about the butt here. The bum muscle is made out of many muscles, so it's not just one bum muscle, but there's many. So one is the gluteus maximus, maximus, big muscle. Then inside you have a medius and a minimus. And also there's another one called tensor fasciae lata. It is the guy that's responsible for getting your leg to move out. But let's dive into more information. So back to the maximus, the biggest muscle, the big muscle of the bum. Basically, its main function is that it's a powerful hip extensor. It's important for activities in everyday life. And its main use is to give you an explosive power. So all about the gluteus maximus is power. That guy has a lot of power. So it's important for stability, alignment, posture, the way you carry yourself. That guy is really important. Then we go to the medius and the minimus. So those ones are important for stability. For example, if you stand on one leg, if your medius and minimus are not strong, you probably tilt your hip sideways and your body as well. So it's a really important one for stability. So as you're standing on one leg, which we do when we walk, we stand 30% of our time is one-legged stance in the walk that you do. So these two muscles are very, very important for stability. Then we have the smaller ones inside, which are called the deep six or the deep rotators. So for example, a muscle like that would be the piriformis. You may have heard of that as well. So those are important for rotating and keeping that ball and socket joint in the hip in place, and also again for stability. So you have the maximus, the medius, and the minimus for support, and then the rotational ones again for support, but also rotation as well. Why are the glutes important in physiotherapy? I have a lot of patients that basically come with lower limb issues or instability issues to do also not only in the walk. You might have limping, or you might have certain things where you have overcompensation. You may have back pain. So basically we always check, okay, how are you moving? Where is the power coming from? Especially when I see someone walk or move, I check, okay, where are they using the power? Are they getting the power mainly from the knees? Are you moving with your feet more? Where's your focus? And it's been shown that weak glutes basically give a lot of variety of lower limb issues, as well as like overload issues, compensation injuries as well. For example, patellofemoral pain syndrome, which is a pain in the kneecap. You get also issues like pain in the butt, like literally pain in the butt. You get butt pain issues as well, sciatic. Those things can also be increased by tight glutes or any dysfunction there. You get iliotibial band syndrome, that's on the side. IT band, you may have heard. So you get issues with one or the other side or both. You get compensation issues, you get back pains. So the glute, therefore, is really, really important. It's been shown to decrease lower back pain if you have strong glutes and a strong core, and then leading to less like disability in terms of compensation movements and stuff like that. Again, going back to one of my earlier episodes, the muscular box. What is that? I'm testing you, but no. It's basically the core. So the part of that muscular box includes the glutes. The glutes are part of core stability. So if you have weak glutes, you just don't have a strong core. So this area is really key in being strong and carrying your frame through movement. So the glutes are therefore a key muscle in core posture, alignment, and reducing any injury, preventing any injury in the future for you. So again, the relevance it has to walking core alignment. They are a core activator, so important part of the core. Also, they are for example, back to gluteus maximus. It's a powerhouse. It's a big muscle. These are big muscles, which means if they're big muscles, they have a lot of energy storage. So maybe you remember from science class, but we have things called cells. So you have bone cells, tendon cells, and then you get muscle cells. So when you have a big muscle like that, it means more muscle cells. And in that cell, you have the energy pump, which we call the mitochondria. It basically is the power plant of the cell, okay? So you get the nutrients, okay? And that mitochondria, it basically converts that into ATP, which is energy. So the more cells, the more mitochondria, the more energy. That muscle is a game changer. That's your Ferrari of your body. Basically, that guy can give you so much horsepower, you're going, So you want to have that muscle really strong, not only for support and posture and stability, but also for power. So in explosive training, in walking, if you're using in stairs, for example, if you're using your glutes, that's a game changer. Okay, guys, so let me show you some of the exercises that can strengthen your glutes. Very simple ones to do. There are many, but let me just show you a few. Okay, so we'll start with the easy one, the squat. The squat is a very amazing exercise to strengthen your glutes. Of course, it strengthens the legs as well. You want to make sure that your legs are hip wide apart. That's very important. Keep it not too wide, not too close. You're just hip wide apart. And then what you're doing is you don't want your knees to go over your toes. So you want to make sure that you can see your toes. You're not putting too much pressure. This puts a lot of pressure onto your knees. So what you're doing is you're going as if to sit down on the chair behind you. So knees in line with your toes, keeping your back very straight. I see so many times where this is not good. Think about your glutes as well when you're exercising and doing the squat. Squeeze them as you're coming up. Like making panidodang juice, you squeeze your glutes as you're coming up and down. Make sure your knees are not knock-kneeing, so this is not good. Make sure that you're keeping the same form throughout the exercise. Okay, so the next one is lunges. Lunges are also great because they twist the hip. In that way, you have to also maintain the hip stability, so it trains the glutes in different ways. You want to keep your angles right, so don't let your knees go over like this. Keep it in line. Alignment is everything in technique, so keep your knees in line with your feet at the back and the front so that when you're going down, you're not compensating. So this is not good. Keep it straight and steady. And come on up. Remember, coming up is where you focus on those glutes. You really squeeze those glutes so that you're training the right group. You have adductors working. You have the main gluteus maximus working. You can feel that after a couple of reps, and then you can switch. Make sure that you're really focusing on your technique. Make sure that your hips are not moving side to side, that they're really steady and straight. Your knees are not collapsing. If you feel tired, take a break and then do the next set again. Take a break. Interval training is always good. If you feel your technique is getting compromised. The other great exercise for the glute is very easy. It's the bridge lift. So you're lying flat on a mat or your bed. Make sure your bed is not too soft or else it's going to be really difficult. So I would suggest a mat is always a great way of doing this exercise. And you need to be keeping your legs again hip wide apart, so not too wide, not too close, just hip wide apart. And then also not too close to your glutes or your butt. Basically keep a distance, a comfortable distance, so there's no pressure on the knees. And then what you're going to do is you're going to lift up straight back, activating your glute muscles, and then come on down straight back. This is very easy, very, very effective, because you're squeezing again your glutes to get this motion up. If this is too easy peasy, then you can add a strap or a weight. So you first with the strap, you can keep these on both sides and then give a bit of a resistance like this, or you have a weight. So you have a weight which you can hold also on this side, and then you can lift up as well. So that's a weighted bridge lift. So you can try the first few sets without and see how you're feeling, because start slow and then build up. So this as a beginner, this is a great way. You don't need any weights at all, but you do, let's say, 3 sets of 10 or something like that. And then the next week you can add a strap to give you a bit of resistance. This is a great one for your back, but especially for your glutes. So this is the clam, a very easy one, very important. This opening up your legs and closing. This is a very important abduction exercise, not by aliens. It's actually the movement that we have when we move our legs apart and sideways. So these are very important for strengthening the gluteus medius and minimus, what I told you, the little guys, are very important in stabilizing the hip. So this is a beginner's exercise. Later there'll be more intense exercises. But what you're doing is you keep your feet a little closer together, legs close together, and then you're opening it like a clam and then closing it again. Now, again, this is a beginner's exercise. If this is too easy for you, you can always add a resistance band around your knees. So I have this yellow one that I've pre-tied already, and then you can just add it in to sit comfortably around your knees. And if you have a loop also, sometimes there are these stretch bands that have loops. Those are also really comfortable. And all you need to do is do the same movement, but you have a little resistance there. So it will give you that additional resistance to increase your strength as well. So now that we've done the clam, the next exercise to train the abductor muscles and in the glutes is to do the sideways abduction. Now you must be wondering what this is. This is my granddad's hat stand, but normally you can use a railing or a wall. I've just, brought this because it's also, remembering that also is nice. You can always use everything. So the exercise is you hold on to something that is steady, okay? And then what you're doing is keep your body very straight. That's important. So don't go leaning from side to side. What you're doing is you're standing on one leg and then you're lifting up the other, I would say about 45 degrees up and then back down again. So 45 degrees up, sideways, and then back down again. Make sure your upper body stays very steady. Your knees also, don't lock them back. Keep them activated, and you're basically lifting the other foot up and down. That's abduction of that side. And then if you're doing the other side, you need to turn around and you need to do it on that side again, standing on this leg, making sure it's not locked. You keep it loose, and then what you're doing is lifting up sideways, 45 degrees, and back down. This works, and you'll feel the burn actually in both sides. Both sides will start to, you'll feel the burn of those side abductor muscles, that's gluteus minimus and medius, and also the muscle of the IT band as well. So this is a great one for stability. Okay guys, so that's it from Melda Physio. I'll join you again next week, and just remember, these glutes were made for walking, and that's just what they're gonna do.